Welcome everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. This is a second to last showcase of the year. We got the 2022 schedule already up online, so we'll talk about that a little bit later on. So I hope everybody's doing well this afternoon or this evening, or for others in the morning, wherever you may be in the world. We're here to talk about Deep-Tec. Today's showcase is actually a nice little full circle for us. We started with actually our first showcase ever was a space showcase. We launched it in December 2020. So now we're just in November, just about a year later, and we're doing our second space showcase. Today we decided to focus simultaneously on space as well as AI. And as is our custom, we're going to have an open topic session as well. So without further ado, let's get started. We'll start with a little brief presentation talking about a little bit of background about us, our origins, and what our focus is, and why this community has come together. Our vision is shared with everybody else here. We're here to help bring more Deep-Tec into market. That's a pretty broad stroke. Specifically, we're focused in Deep-Tec outside of the life sciences. But the reason that that's necessary is because 95% of all startups fail. And within that number, or 90 to 95%, when you factor in what a Deep-Tec startup is up against, then really it's an additional challenge that another startup doesn't have, because you have an extended R&D period, which is expensive, it's long, and if you don't get the right partners for it, then you can really be challenged to actually make it to market. Even when the technology is mature, let's say, first and foremost, you have a reality in Deep-Tec, which is that it can apply to multiple markets, multiple segments, multiple industries, whatever word you want to use. The idea of foundational technology is that it can apply across multiple markets in a lot of cases, and that's as much of an advantage as it is a challenge, because then it starts to really depend on how good you are at your B&D, your business development, because obviously the R&D is fantastic. Not that that's not a challenge in and of itself, but to go and to explain that to market is a challenge that another startup might not necessarily have. Everybody has challenges with content creation and creating the story around your technology and why it's going to make the impact that you believe it's going to make. But sometimes it's a little edgier, a little more challenging, because you have to educate a whole market sometimes. That's the last thing, is the timing is really important. And now that we're leaving the lab, we have to know how to go about that. What we have done, one of our core focuses for the Deep-Tec Showcase as a business development firm is we've curated an ecosystem. Startups, on the one hand, that are innovating, on the other hand, you have stakeholders. And this is important because at the end of the day, both sides typically are looking for one another. However, it's not always such a simple task to go and find that next-gen technology which can help your organization, or could be a good investment opportunity or merger and acquisition opportunity for your organization, or for that matter, could change to the face of your governmental organization, the needs that you come across. So what we've done is we've focused for the stakeholder community to be one of three, I guess, profiles. One would be a government tech scout from public sector, whether it's federal, state, or city, looking to engage with innovative companies that are developing agile in an agile fashion, and also are focused on simultaneously on a commercial market, but could potentially have that dual use capabilities in the government side. Tech scouts, whether it's a government prime or whether it's a major corporation looking for a subcontractor, looking to be a subcontractor, or looking for merger and acquisition or CVC type investment. And then, of course, investors that are looking for technologies that maybe take a little bit longer to go to market. However, if played correctly, will have a much bigger impact. And the reason we have the need for the ecosystem, at least what we've seen and the feedback we've gotten from our stakeholder community, is that it's not always easy to find a tech company. One of the companies presenting is fond of saying it's a needle and a needle stack. It's really hard to find the right startup or the right technology company which is addressing your needs. And if you're an investor, to find that right startup that's going to make a real big impact on the market and create an incredible ROI for your organization. So what anchors our community are the events like today. We have one event per month on average. We have the occasional off-the-cuff event as well, like we're going to be having next month for AFWERX winners. We'll talk about that in just a minute. And the community gathers around the industry events. Obviously, not everybody attends everything, but when it's of relevance to you, for instance, this community today is focused on space and AI, but we also have the agnostic industry set in the first session. This is part of our services, the events and the ecosystem, but we also have a strategies division that focuses on companies that are trying to plan their go-to-market and want to do some key market research, plan out their business model, plan out their ideal customer and how their 1, 2, 3 step to finding a beachhead or a secondary market. We also have a studios team, which helps with building pitches, putting together one-pagers and other basic marketing materials. Of course, the guided introductions, whether you're a tech scout or whether you're an investor, pitch events like today, and of course, marketing. Marketing as a service is a relatively new service that we added, which helps companies that are looking to have an idea of who their profile is, their customer is, and just needs help in reaching out to them. And that's where we provide the added value. Our business package, we work typically with companies for 9 months. I speak to the stakeholder community today. You're going to be meeting a lot of startups today that are in different process of working with the Deep-Tec Showcase. Maybe some of them are also, testing it out and seeing what it's like. So you're going to be seeing companies that have been either working with us for extended period of time or are totally new to it. And that's also exciting. So be patient with the pitches, focus on the technology, and try to hear beyond the slides, because of course companies only have 5 minutes to pitch. Here's the team. A lot of us are online today. We try to attend in high capacity. My name is Josh Barone. I'm the managing director of the Deep-Tec Showcase. And we have a really incredible team on the business side and also the professional services side, which are helping these startups and also helping these organizations to find the startups. Our schedule through the end of 2022 is as follows. Today we have Space and AI. Last event of 2021 calendar year is a focus on information communication technology. And then we restart the year with some new and some repeat industry sets, like Industry 4.0, trading simulations is new this year, microelectronics, energy, smart cities, the third wave of AI, aerospace and defense, communication connectivity, advanced materials, future of computing, autonomous systems in space, as well as one unique and actually invite-only showcase, which is going to be for any company that has recently won an AFWERX Phase 1. This is a closed event exclusively for those companies. And on the stakeholder side, there will be a panel of Air Force personnel who are looking to potentially engage with these startups. So that's going to be on Tuesday, December 14th. And if you're interested to have more information about that, you can email one of us from the team. That's one of 2 joint programs that we run together with our sister company, Eagle Point Funding. Deep-Tec Showcase, as you know, business development firm for Deep-Tec startups. Eagle Point Funding is a grant consultancy firm helping Deep-Tec startups to get non-dilutive funding from R&D programs from the federal government. We also run a second program called StratFi and TACFi Match Funding Initiative, which is helping companies that are eligible for a match funding program for the United States Air Force called StratFi or TACFi. Strategic Funding Initiative or Tactical Funding Initiative, which are asking for private investors to match government dollars, which can go all the way up to $60 million combined for one company. On the low side of things, I believe it's $750,000. But we'll see. The new program set to launch in January, February next year. So just a quick word on MOU Club. The MOU Club, like I mentioned, is a joint program between us and our sister company, where the idea is to help companies that have won an AFWERX Phase 1. AFWERX, for those that are new to the term, is a small business innovation research Phase 1 grant for our R&D contract from the United States government, specifically from the United States Air Force. And companies, as part of that Phase 1, are tasked to get a signed MOU from a potential customer from the Air Force in order to have secondary phase funding, where the purpose of this funding is to actually engage in a contract with the United States Air Force. There are a lot of opportunities along the way here, but in order to go from stage 1 to stage 2, these companies need to get a signed MOU. And we run a program that actually helps walk them through that, giving one-on-one guidance and making sure that we're helping them both through the Deep-Tec Showcase community, but also from finding ideal customers. The United States Air Force, anybody who is new to the world, is a massive organization, and there are many different Air Force personnel who are looking to engage with startups if they find something on a relevant industry set. We have a cohort that meets once a week, or more or less, over a course of 12 sessions. And like I mentioned, we're having a AFWERX showcase, which is exclusively for those companies that have won that. So that's a unique program. It's good to share this out with the community. We run a couple of unique programs throughout the year, which go beyond what we're running on the monthly showcase. So anybody who's curious about it, feel free to reach out and we can have an extended discussion about it.